you speak about redefining, that's a very beautiful subject which is very close to us. That's why I'm here, to be honest. Because in the last 16 years, what we have tried to do is to redefine. Redefine how we see poverty, redefine how we see recycling, redefine how we see issues, redefine how we see people. I mean, one thing which we have been talking about is that there are issues and there are non-issues. Issues are the ones which are established, where some people have worked. Non-issues are the ones which are still troubling the world, and maybe we have not been able to take care of it because we have not seen those. We also made sure that we actually redefine disasters. When an earthquake happens, it is a disaster. When a flood happens, it is a disaster. We just asked a very basic question a few years back, that how come winters are not a disaster? More people die in winters due to lack of clothing than earthquake or flood. And we still think that winters are not a disaster. We also said that let's start looking poverty in a different way and say poverty is a disaster. I'll speak more, but what I will do, I'll just run these few slides today. And I think it will go well with the theme. There is a series called Sochta Hoon. It's nothing, it's just a collection of few pictures and few thoughts. And to be honest, every single slide redefines something. That is why I got this small collection of slides. So this is the way we see our life. This is the way we need to change it. So there is something which we say that मैं बांटता रहा प्रसाद मंदिर के भीतर और बाहर कोई गरीब भूख से मर गया. If I try to put it in the context, let's redefine the way we look at charity, we look at giving something to people. Anybody needs English translation for this, or people are able to understand it? Yeah? So basically it says that I kept distributing prasad inside the temple, and someone died outside the temple. कभी फुर्सत मिले तो बैठना, देश के बारे में कुछ बात करनी है. जब खबरें देखते हुए आंखों से आंसू बह निकलें, तो समझो देश बहुत बुरे दौर में. This is Odisha, which we think is a lot of poverty is there, unfortunately, because that is also we need to redefine at the end of the day, because very, very few prosperous states, as we say, you get similar pictures from those states also. A lot of people have started talking about development in absolutely different contexts. A lot of people started preaching, us also, and many of us also, that you need to make a business plan to do some good in social sector. This is what we say, that कि अगर business plan बनाने से देश बदल सकता, तो business वालों ने बदल ही नहीं दिया होता आज तक. मिट्टी में संते, धूल में गुत्ते देखा है मैंने बचपन को ईंट के भट्टों पर. And this is Kashmir, which is known for beauty. कभी मौका मिला तो पत्थर के हाथी, आसमान छूते पुतलों, भव्य मंदिर, मस्जिद, गुरुद्वारे और गिरजे बनाने वालों से पूछूंगा, इसके लिए क्या बनाया आपने? One thing which we all need to understand, that all these pictures are hardly a collection of last 10-15 years. So I'm not talking about the last century. In literal sense, yes, but otherwise not. It's very recent. It is happening because maybe we are not looking at these things. बस चढ़ा ही रहा था एक और चादर मजार पर कि नजर बाहर कांपते एक फकीर पर पड़ गई. To be honest, with this picture in my life, I understood the importance of clothing. 1991, I was a student of mass communication here in IMC, and I had come from Dehradun to do this. A massive earthquake happened in Uttarkashi, the same place which was devastated in 2013 again because of floods. And as a curious student, I just ran there and then bunked my classes, spent a few days there. Met this person. This guy is wearing a jacket which is actually made out of old jute bags, because Uttarakhand you have a lot of potatoes happening. And this guy was wearing this jacket. He had a chit in his hand. One thing which he was saying again and again, मुझे एक गरम कपड़ा दे दो मैं मर जाऊंगा, मुझे एक स्वेटर दे दो मैं मर जाऊंगा, मुझे एक कंबल दे दो मैं मर जाऊंगा. Give me a blanket, I'll die. Give me a woolen, I'll die. I couldn't understand. Because for me, maybe poverty means lack of food, disaster means lack of place where this guy can stay, because you just see all the houses are totally gone. By 5:36 in the hills, when the sunlight was over, I suddenly remembered that I am also a tourist. I have no place to stay, and my camera thing is over because there is no natural light. Went to the relief camp, because then I was worried, where do I sleep? Asked and told them that, this is how I have come from Delhi and I have to sleep somewhere. They showed me a pile of blankets and told me, take as many as you want. Maybe the first night in my life where I understood the importance of a woolen or blanket. Because when you sleep in a tent in the chill of Uttarkashi in the month of November, December, you understand what is cold all about. Same year, another moment in life, I was roaming around on the roads of Old Delhi. Suddenly I see a rickshaw on which in Hindi it was written Lavaris Lash Uthane Wala, which means a person who picks up unclaimed dead bodies. To be honest, when I saw that person on a thela, on a rickshaw, and a lady sitting on that in colorful clothes, it was just a beautiful picture for me, because I was very keen on photography. When I went nearer, that's where I read that line written in red, Lavaris Lash Uthane Wala. Suddenly a picture became a story. Followed him, spent about a week with him. Two statements which you must have heard in the last few days, because media has covered well. One statement by Habib Bhai, who said that in winters his work goes up many times, he has so much of work that he cannot handle it. And to my utter surprise, every 24 hours he was picking up 10 to 12 dead bodies. In the summers it used to be 4 to 5. The non-issue. And if I go with your theme, redefining winters, redefining clothing need, redefining disasters. And he had a little daughter, 5.5, 6 years old, who gave the most shocking statement by saying, in Hindi she said, कि जब मुझे ठंड लगती है तो मैं लाश के साथ चिपक कर सो जाती हूँ. लाश तंग नहीं करती, लाश करवट नहीं बदलती. It's a very well documented story. When I feel cold, I hug the dead body and sleep. It does not trouble me. It does not turn around. A few kilometers away from this girl, people like us stay. For us, clothing is a disaster relief material. For us, clothing is a charitable subject object. For us, winters are not a disaster. For us, clothing is not an issue. That's where maybe the journey started, and that's what we do. We look into things, and this is why this picture is so important in our life. मैं ढके तन में तानता हूँ सीना, वो सर्द हवाओं में तन बचाए फिरते हैं. आग में तपते शीशे से कटते देखा है मैंने बचपन को चूड़ियों की भट्टियों पर. Very common statement, maybe you must have heard, at least a couple of speakers must have told you, since the morning, if they are the inspirational speakers, everybody wants to change the world. And we often question, we say, why do you want to change the world? Why don't you improve it? If I have an injury in my hand, do I want to change it or I want to repair it? Want to work on it? Make sure this hand works. मुझे मालूम है अंधेरा है, रोशनी की कोशिश तो करने दो. Two ways to operate: sit away, crib, throw stones, criticize, or become a part of the process. Last thing before I leave, I just need to say one thing. And the moment I see youth in front of me, I exploit the opportunity. It is irrelevant what event is that. All of us sitting here are the biggest product of the subsidy of this country. Someone who is standing in front of you is the biggest product of the subsidy, because I come from a very average but honest middle class family. When I came to do my mass communication in 1990 at IMC, the annual fees used to be about a couple of thousand rupees. Ideally, it should have been 50,000 and 1 lakh rupees, because that the government and the people of this country must have spent on me. I could do that course, and I am standing in front of you because of that subsidy. If that fees was 50,000 rupees, I am 100% sure it was impossible for us to afford. I need to pay back. It is a debt. मैं कर्जे में हूँ. All of us sitting here do need to question, do need to answer, do need to raise voice, do need to take care of our own duties first. I am troubled when I pay toll tax on every single black road. I get angry, because this road was made out of my taxes. Even the bribe was paid out of my taxes. Repair was done by, out of my taxes. Make a road where I can drive at a speed of 100 kilometers per hour, charge me toll. The roads where I can only drive at a speed of 50, 60 kilometers, why do you charge me toll? Is it not a basic right of mine? How many of you have ever heard of any country, maybe apart from UK, where a private school is called public school? Do we know any other country? India. So proudly we call private school a public school. And the public schools which are totally run by the public money, which are run by our money, we can't send our children or sibling there. We don't question. How many of you have ever paid a water bill where it was written that this water is meant for having bath or washing clothes? Have you ever paid a bill like that? No? When we pay for the drinking water, why don't we get drinking water in the taps? Do we question? Do we ever question that why do I buy an inverter? Why do I earn for soundless generator? Do we question? Do we question MCDs? Do we question NDMCs? In my last Facebook post, I had actually written that PWD, BMC, NDMC, MCD, अगले बारिश में डूब मरो. But this is what is needed ultimately. It is the citizens of this country who can bring a change. And it is our responsibility, because at least me, if I talk about myself, I cannot, or rather before answering, let me ask you a question, very basic question. Which is the safest place in your life? बोलिए, tell me. Home? How many of you can leave your 10 to 12 years old sibling or daughter alone at home? Okay. Is there any brave person here? No? Is this not the house for which all of us are earning? Is this not the house for which we take bribe or earn ethically day and night? If I cannot leave my daughter alone in my own home, for which I earn so much, do I understand where do I stand in the country as on date? So the fact remains that I am a cockroach. You know why? Because cockroach lives long. Because a cockroach lives in absolutely dirt. And the cockroach does not complain. My question is, if you're really trying to redefine things, let's also redefine our act. Let's also redefine how do we look at life. Let's also redefine how do we want to live. Like a dignified human being or like a cockroach. Thank you very much.